Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, mother paints a graphic image of battered and bruised son as trial of cops implicated in death gets underway. Maria Dean's mother, Mercy Fraser, the first witness to testify at the trial of the 3 police officers implicated in her son's death, yesterday painted a graphic picture of the battered, bruised, and unresponsive state in which she saw her son on August 3, 2014. She rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital in Montego Bay, St. James, where he had been admitted following a brutal beating at the Barnett Street Police Station in the second city. The trial, which is taking place in the Westmoreland Circuit Court, where it was transferred last December after almost 10 years of administrative bungling in St. James. The court is seeking to determine if Corporal Elaine Stewart and the constables Juliana Cleavon and Marlon Grant, who were on duty at the Barnett Street facility at the time of the beating, bear any responsibility for Dean's death. I was led into the accident and emergency department at the hospital by a worker because I told them what I had come about. I was led to a young man who I identified as Mario Dean. He was lying on a bed with instruments strung all over him, like drips, and a life support machine strapped to his mouth with a piece of the instrument down his mouth, Fraser recounted in her evidence in chief. I noticed there was a dark mark on his neck and his cheek, and his head was really swollen. One of his eyes was puffed out, and the other seemed to have a cut mark over it, continued Fraser, pointing to parts of her own face for emphasis. Fraser also told the court that she visited her son on August 5, 2014, before he died the following day, and further added that she attended his autopsy at the hospital on September 2, where she again identified him. Under cross-examination from Cleavon's lawyer, Dalton Reed, Fraser confirmed that she last saw Dean in April 2014 when he visited her at home. She also noted that she would periodically visit her son at his home in Rosemount, St. James, prior to the time of his arrest on August 3 of that year. The trial got underway yesterday morning after High Court Justice Courtney Day excused the juror on medical grounds. It was the same juror whose absence delayed the start of the proceedings, which were slated to start on Tuesday. Another juror was empaneled to fill the slot, ensuring the required 7-member panel. The trial is set to continue this morning with a police witness slated to testify for the prosecution. Stewart, Cleavon, and Grant are charged with manslaughter, misconduct in a public office, and taking steps to pervert the course of justice. It is also alleged that Stewart, who was the senior officer on duty, ordered the cleaning of the cell where the beating had taken place before a scheduled visit by investigators from the Independent Commission of Investigations. Dean, who was 31 years old at the time of his death, was on his way to work on the morning of August 3, 2014, when he was accosted by a police patrol in his Rosemount, Montego Bay home community. During a search of his person, he was found with a small quantity of ganja and was arrested and taken to the Barnett Street Police Station, where he was charged. Shortly after he was arrested, a friend went to bail him out, but the friend was told to come back at 5 p.m. When the friend returned at the designated time, Dean had already been beaten and admitted to hospital in an unresponsive state. He died 3 days later without regaining consciousness. BPO companies making progress in combating fraud, says Sinclair. The Global Services Association of Jamaica says the business process outsourcing companies have made a significant investment to detect and combat instances of fraud. It follows the revelation that 2 employees of local BPO company, Sutherland Global Services, have been implicated in a ticket fraud scheme that targeted high-value events in the United States. Wayne Sinclair, president of the Global Services Association of Jamaica, says that the issue has cast a shadow over the sector. At the same time, he says the association has been working to reassure international partners that adequate security measures are in place to protect the personal information of clients.
It's something that we have been fighting hard in terms of just the general perception, not just here locally, but internationally. This issue that we have of scamming is something that is known. It's not new. And so whenever anything like this pops up, anywhere, anytime, it's just not good for us. Fortunately, though, we also have been very feverishly, and I'm talking about not just the industry as an organization, but the individual companies have been taking steps over the years to ensure that we are very tight on our security. I know several companies have made significant investment in security, enhancing the security features surrounding their operations. So we're in a much better place where that is concerned today than we were, say, even 3-5 years ago.
JLP and the PNP confident of victory in upcoming general election. The general secretaries of the country's two main political parties are predicting victory in the upcoming general parliamentary election due by September. Jamaica Labour Party General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang and the People's National Party General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell gave their predictions while speaking with the news on Wednesday night. Dr. Campbell says that the PNP, which suffered a massive defeat in 2020, now has the momentum based on its 5% lead over the JLP in a poll conducted this February.
Saying in 2020 we suffered a terrible defeat, and I'm happy that my counterpart has said that it was an aberration, because it really was. So, you know, a lot of persons in this society thinks that we are starting from 14. We're actually not starting from 14 constituencies, because it was an aberration, and there are some of them. The last local government election results show that when it wasn't a constituency election, but when you tally the votes constituency by constituency, it was 32 to 31 in terms of the number of votes. And there are some constituencies that we polled more votes in than the general election. You have less people voting in local election, but in the local election, we were able to poll more votes than we did in some of the constituencies during the general election. The People's National Party is 5 percentage points ahead, with a united, energized party, with our plans fully ready to go. We will win this election, and we think we'll get at least 38, 39 seats.
Meanwhile, Dr. Chang said in the coming months, voter intention will swing towards the governing party based on its management of the economy.
You have the issue of the positive rating of the Prime Minister has gone up significantly, while the negative for the opposition leader has fallen significantly, as much as almost 9-10 points, which is the kind of figure where when you get into 9-10 points range, statisticians say that's significant, in that it's not something that was cyclical. The same thing has happened for the party positive ratings, where the rating of the people, PNP has gone by negative about 14%. The leaders' rating, I think, is down maybe also in that region. So when all factors are taken into account, I think we are in a very good position. We have really been running government and beginning to move the party, political party operations. I expect we'll continue to move in that direction. The voter intention will change in the right direction. If I don't man this, we'll win the election, and we'll win at least 35 seats comfortable.
Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.